The atom, the smallest thing in the world. While atoms are not alive, they do certain lively things, if you get what I'm saying. They can form together to form all sorts of things, such as metals, chemicals, acids, and if there were enough of them, living things. Of course, being the smallest thing in the universe, it will take billion, probably even trillions, or even septillions of them to form any of these. But they can't do it alone. All those little atoms have to form bonds of some kind, and bonds happen when atoms receive valence electrons. The atom always wants 8 valence electrons to achieve energetic stability. Atoms have a few methods of obtaining these electrons. The first is called covalent bonding. This means that atoms benefit from one another by sharing valence electrons. Some atoms just want to achieve energetic stability together. There are 2 types of covalent bonding, polar and nonpolar. Keep in mind this type of bond only happens to nonmetals. Polar bonding is when there's an unequal charge in the bond which causes a sort of magnetic effect where the more electronegative atom pulls the less electronegative atom towards it. In this example, you're seeing water being formed by an oxygen atom pulling 2 hydrogen atoms towards it. Nonpolar happens when there's an unequal charge between the atoms. In this example, this isotope is called deuterium, which is just 2 hydrogen atoms put together. However, not all atoms want to share their precious electrons. Some atoms will steal their valence electrons from others instead. This brings us to our second method, ionic bonding. To understand this better, imagine polar bonding, but the charge is so unequal that the atom overpowers the other and steals its valence electrons instead. When ionic bonding happens, the atom with the stolen valence electrons becomes negatively charged, and the atom with the lost electrons becomes positively charged. Well, there's also metallic bonding, but we don't talk about that much. It's just covalent bonding, but with metals. Now we will go over some examples of the things bonds can achieve. Sodium fluoride is an ionic bond that specializes in preventing cavities. It is found mostly in toothpaste because it would be useless if found anywhere else. A polar bond example would be glucose. Glucose is a type of sugar your body gets from the foods you eat. Our bodies use glucose for energy, so it's like the fuel for the body, you know. Carbon dioxide is a nonpolar bond and a widely used gas. It is used in soft drinks, fire extinguishers, and can be turned to a solid to make dry ice. There are 2 ways to make carbon dioxide. One method is pouring 1 inch of vinegar into a 2-liter bottle, mix it with 2 tablespoons of baking soda, wait until the baking soda reacts to the vinegar. Once it does, it will start to fizz and you'll have your carbon dioxide. The second method is to breathe in and out. Unless you are a plant, you have just made CO2. A metallic bonding example is iron. It's a common metal used for many civil engineering and manufacturing. Believe it or not, there is a difference between molecules and formula units. Molecules are always covalent bonds, and formula units are always ionic bonds.